Today we're going to talk about prime factorization, how to get all the prime factors of certain numbers. We've learned about prime numbers and composite numbers. Okay, the first 10 prime numbers, as you should have memorized, were 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and 29. You will use those to find your prime factorization. Now, you've probably learned how to use factor ladders and factor trees. We're going to focus on factor ladders as we go through this because using the ladders will help us to find our greatest common factor and our least common multiple. And those are things that will be very important when we start adding and subtracting fractions. So as we're learning this, remember there is a goal, the reason we're doing it this way. Okay, we're going to start with the number 12. And to find the prime factorization of 12, first we draw the first rung of our ladder. It looks kind of like an upside down division sign. And then we want to find the prime number from our list here that goes into 12. And there may be more than one. You can pick whichever one you want to use. For 12, we could use 2 or 3. Either one will not make any difference. I'm going to go with 2. That's usually simple. And then you divide. So first, find the prime number that goes into 12. Second, divide by that number. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. Then 6 is not a prime number either, so we need to keep going. Draw another rung on your ladder, and we want to find a prime number that goes into 6. I'm going to choose 3. You could also choose 2. Now we divide 6 by 3, and we get our 2. So it wouldn't matter which one we used. We would still get 3 and 2 here. We work this out in this fashion until this number on the bottom is a prime number. Once we have a prime number on the bottom and on the sides, we can stop. Now we go to write our answer. There's certain ways I want you to learn how to write your answers. We want to write them in order from least to greatest, these prime numbers, and then we want to use exponents where we need to. So from least to greatest, we would have 2 times 2 times 3. Now to use exponents, if any of these are repeated, that's when we use an exponent to show that. Since I have 2 times 2, that's 2 squared. And then our 3, use a dot for your multiplication when you do this, and that's your answer. So let's recap here. All the numbers on the outside must be prime numbers. Work out your problem dividing by your prime numbers until you get a prime number at the bottom of your ladder, and then put your answers in least to greatest order and use exponents where necessary. Okay, let's practice a couple of numbers. Let's try 90 first. Think of your first 10 prime numbers. What's a prime number that will go into 90? Well, you could use 2 times 45. You could use 3 times 30, or you could use 5. I'm going to choose 3. Choose one that it's simple to divide in your head, 3 into 90. I know that 90 divided by 3 is 30. Now 30 is not a prime number, so I keep going. I'm going to pick 3 again. 10. Okay, 10 is not a prime number, so I keep going. 2 times 5. 5 is a prime number, so I stop. Now I want to write my numbers in order from least to greatest and use exponents where necessary. Okay, so my smallest number is 2. I'm going to cross it out as I go, that way I don't forget any numbers. Times, I have 2 3's, that would be 3 squared, times 5. So I used my 2 3's and I used my 5. Okay, let's make sure we have it all correct. 2 times 3 squared times 5 in order from least to greatest. All right, now I want you to try 338. This one's a little tricky. I gave you one that was a little bit harder on purpose to see if you could figure it out. Let's see, I'll get you started. It ends in 8, so I know it can be divided by 2. So I'm going to come over here, and sometimes you'll have to do this. You'll have to work it out to see what exactly is going to go in there. So that's 12, oops, 8, 169. All right, so 169. Now what goes into 169? Think of your first 10 prime numbers. Go back to that list if you need to on your notes. Now, I want you to pause the video. I will tell you one of those numbers will go into 169. I want you to figure out which one it is. So pause the video while you think about it. Go over here and try some numbers and find which one it is. Turn the video back on when you think you know it. All right, did you figure out what it was? Which one of those prime numbers goes into 169? 13. 13 times 13 is 169. I want you to memorize that. 13 squared equals 169. That's a really good one to know. That's called a perfect square. 13 times 13 equals 169. All right, so when we write our answer, we have 2 times and our 13 squared. Now learn that one, and that way you won't have to keep working it out every time. You will know 13 squared.